So we're ready to go.
We're good to go?
Yes.
Okay. Get started. So I will call this meeting to order at 10:01 a.m. on Friday, November the 1st. I'll start by reading the land acknowledgement. The city of Thorold is situated on treaty land. This land is steeped in the rich history of the First Nations, such as the Hadawin-Daronk, the Haudenosaunee, and the Anishinaabe, including the Mississaugas of the Credit First Nation. There are many First Nations, Métis, and Inuit people from across Turtle Island that live and work in Niagara today. I'll ask before we proceed if there's any declarations of interest. Seeing none. I'll move on to the adoption of the agenda for today's meeting. Can I get a mover and a seconder to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
And I see Linda and Councillor Longo. Thank you. Oh, so I'll call the question. All those in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, that is carried. Okay, number 5, the adoption of the minutes. Can I get a mover and a seconder to adopt the minutes from our September 6th meeting?
Joe.
I'm not seeing any hands. Oh, thank you, Councillor Longo and Joe. Thank you. So then I'll again ask the question, all in favor? Any opposed? Seeing none, that is carried. Okay. So we'll go with number 6, correspondence. So some good news here. So at the meeting on September 10th, 2024, Council appointed Dilong Zhang and Ratna Raj Timsina to the committee. So I want to welcome Zilong and Ratna, and I hope that I have that pronunciation correct. I'm looking, Ratna, we're okay?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Okay. And I don't see.
And the other committee member sent his regrets. He's on vacation for this meeting.
Okay, thanks, Justin. So welcome. And what else? 6.2 correspondence. So an announcement that the committee's staff liaison and development planner, Jessica Abraham, no longer works for the city. Justin, do we have a new committee staff liaison to announce?
So yes, that's thank you, Mr. Chair. I was just going to advise that Janelle Doofus, who's on the call here, a development planner, she is our new staff liaison. And also on the call is our new associate director for community services, Mark Richardson, who will be here from time to time, assisting with more community service and more tree planting side of things as well. And yeah, so welcome both of them.
Yeah, that's excellent. Thank you, Justin. Welcome, Mark. And is it pronounced Janelle?
Yes, Janelle Duffus. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Welcome. Looking forward to working with you both. Okay. All right, we'll move on to 6.3, the 2024 tree planting program. So at the meeting on October 1st, 2024, Council passed report PWCS 2724 regarding the 2024 tree planting program. This included a number of actions, including the Tree Canada community tree planting event that was held on Saturday, October 19th at Mel-Swart Lake Gibson Conservation Area, and the TD Tree Days community tree planting event held on the following Saturday, the 26th, at Port Robinson East Eco Park. So that's all good news. Is there any questions or comments related to the 2024 tree planting program as we're getting to the end of the year? If not, I'll move on. Okay. The next item is item 6.4, CWCD 435-2024. We have received correspondence from Walker Industries regarding notice of commencement of the environmental assessment for the Walker South Landfill Phase 2. Basically, on September 10th of this year, the Ministry of the Environment, Conservation and Parks approved the terms of reference for the South Landfill Phase 2. So Walker Industries will be proceeding as per their plan. We had discussed this item previously. I'm not sure if there's any further discussion required or any questions on this. People are, entitled to have their say and comment directly to Walker Industries. But like I said, we've already discussed it here. I don't think there's anything else. Not seeing any questions, then we'll move on again. Okay, let's get to committee business. So we have some opportunity to talk about our working group updates. The first one is Earth Day, and I'm not aware of any updates for Earth Day. And we are getting a little late in the game again. And now that we've welcomed some new members to the team, perhaps we should reinitiate the Earth Day working group to focus on 2025. With Joe's departure, do we have anybody who wants to volunteer to take the lead for this for 2025 to plan Earth Day with the city? Not seeing any volunteers.
I am happy to be in the team.
Okay. Yeah, that was my next question. If we had volunteers to join the team, so that's great. Thank you, Ratna.
I'd like to propose that we also have community services assisting with this. I'm sorry, I'm still getting used to everybody's names.
Jacob.
Thank you.
Yes,
I
thank
was
you.
trying to blank there. Yeah, Jacob and I have already been speaking about Earth Day or Earth Week next year, and are coming up with some ideas that we would like to pitch at the same time.
Oh, that's excellent. Thank you, Mark. I couldn't think of his name either. He was really good in help. He put in a lot of work last year in our Earth Day event.
Yes.
Justin, go ahead.
Yeah, just to advise that right now the only member of that working group is Leslie. So if we want to add new members here or later, we can do that. And then yes, the group should work closely with Jacob like last year. And then once we get a little closer, he usually will come to these meetings too and help give updates as well once we get closer.
Okay. Thanks, Justin.
Yeah.
So sorry. So we do have one volunteer. Anybody else want to join that? Linda, yourself?
I'm considering it, but I have a lot on my plate right now, and
Okay.
my heart's there, but I'm not sure that the time is there.
Yeah,
I
it's important
apologize.
if you don't have the time, that's we understand.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll start with that, and maybe I'll do some soliciting offline then as well.
Just a note, do we want to formally add anyone at this point, or we can wait till the next meeting if you want?
That was my next question, Justin. So do we need to pass a motion or anything to have Ratna added to the team?
No,
Yeah, we should probably do that.
I'll
Okay.
move. I'll move.
Thank you.
Mark,
And
could you
Joe.
please provide some of the activities you have carried out this year?
Yeah. So we can talk more offline for sure. But Joe Pertula was on our board on this committee last year, and he really led the discussions with Jacob for the city. And basically, what was done last year is we need to go out and invite a number of vendors and participants, and we need to secure some space in an arena, typically. Those types of activities. There could be a theme for 2025. We need to talk about advertising so that people of the world know that it's happening. Those types of activities. Okay, but we can definitely talk more offline. Alrighty. So Justin, we had Joe and Linda. And so then I'll ask everyone in favor of Rutna joining this team. Okay, and any objections? I'm seeing none, so that will be carried. Is that okay, Justin?
Yes, that is good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, so again, I'll I'll have to take it offline and try to get some more help for this committee. And I think we're okay to bring in people who are not members of this committee to join, right, as well?
Yes, through the chair, yes, you are allowed to bring non-committee members into it as well. And I know there was talk of reaching out to St. Catharines as well to partner with them.
Oh, thank you. That's right.
I think Jacob might be looking into that, perhaps. I'm not sure.
I
Okay.
just wondered, Mark, if Joe might be interested in contributing there because he was such a leader for that day.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Reach out to him and ask him. Yeah.
Yeah, he has the experience and some lessons learned as well from last year that I know he would want to emphasize. So yes, I'll do that. Thanks.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next item is boulevard planting. And we've discussed this previously, that we had been working sort of in parallel with the Greening Thorold initiative. And now that that memorandum has been passed by council, which we're going to talk about in a couple minutes, I suggest that we disband this boulevard planning working group and establish a new Greening Thorold working group, as the goals are very similar, but now they're even expanded upon with the Greening Thorold initiative. Is there any comments or questions on that suggestion? Okay, seeing none. So then, Justin, again, we need a motion to disband this working group.
Yeah, through the chair, we should do that. Yes.
Okay, thanks, Joe. Did you have a question or your
No, what you said made total sense. I was just moving the motion.
Okay, thank you. So first, then, do I have a second?
I second that.
Thank you, Linda. And all in favor? Any opposed? I'm seeing none, so that is carried as well. Okay, so that's good. We'll talk about more about that in a minute. Long-term goals. As far as I know, there's no update from the long-term goals working group. That said, I think we should keep this group intact and suggest that we revisit it in the new year. We will be quite busy, hopefully, with the Greening Thorold plan. But I think it's still something that we need to keep on our radar, the long-term goals, which is more to do with reducing greenhouse gases and things like that. So if, again, any questions or comments on that suggestion? Okay, none. Okay, so we'll just leave that. With that, we'll move on to section 7.2, Greening Thorold. So at the meeting on October 1st, Council passed Memorandum CLC 3924, approving the committee's Greening Thorold proposal. Specifically, Council passed the following resolution: that Council directs staff to review the ECBAC Greening Thorold initiative, that Council directs staff to work with the committee on implementing the recommendations, that Council directs staff to consider these initiatives in the 2025 budget process, and that Council directs staff to prepare a report for 2025 budget respecting the city's planting program. I'm not sure if anyone on the call wants to provide any further comments on that before I make a suggestion on how to move forward. Nope. Okay, so I think at this point we can get started, but we have a lot of new people on the team here. So I think really the first step is joining this, forming Greening Thorold working group. And what we had recommended in our proposal is that this is composed of city staff, along with forestry and horticultural experts, as well as a couple of members from this committee, which, if I remember correctly, Helen had volunteered for that from the committee, and myself. So can I assume that Janelle will be a member of this team? Is the first question. Yes, she's nodding yes. Okay, thank you. And can we also, if I understand it correctly, there is a city arborist or main gardener. I'm not sure what the exact title is. Can we get him or her engaged in this group as well? Justin or maybe Janelle we can just take it offline to oh, thank you, Justin.
I think, yeah, through the chair, I think that I don't want to volunteer Mark, but it'll work through Mark because it will be his department and his group. So work through him,
okay.
and then either he'll assign someone or he'll help out. I'll throw it to Mark.
Okay. So Mark, yes, can we ask you to join this working group?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's
Okay,
something I
thanks.
believe in both personally and professionally.
Perfect. Yes, thank you. And I do have some possibility of bringing in somebody outside of the city or outside of this committee as well that has worked on similar initiatives in other areas in Ontario that I think will be extremely helpful in moving this forward. So, Justin, then do we have to again get a mover and a seconder for the motion of getting this working group formed?
So yeah, through the chair, yes, we will. But my suggestion before we get to that, is there any other committee members that would like to volunteer? I've got Helen and you. We can have 5 at the most.
Thank you. Not seeing any hands. Oh, Joe? Okay. And Natalie, not to put you on the spot, but would you like to join us as well?
Hello, hi, through you, Chair. Yes, I'm interested. I was actually wondering if the NPCA would be allowed to have a role, at least advisory or otherwise, in that working group. I think it would be really relevant to us.
Yes, I agree. Thank you. Justin, are you aware of any reason why this can't happen?
Yeah, if Natalie, if not Natalie, then someone from the NPCA could just join the working group itself. Yeah, that should be fine.
I guess the question was because NPCA has a program called Trees for All, if that would be a conflict, if they would be trying to get more business drummed up through their program. Is that what you're asking about, Natalie? If you're allowed on the committee?
No, allowed
Okay.
more because I wasn't quite clear on my role on this committee. In some advisory committees, in some EACs, NPCA is just you know, like a fly on the wall. It has an actual term, ex officio member. And in other committees, we are allowed to participate. So I wasn't quite clear. I've taken over from somebody else. So I wasn't briefed on what my role was yet. And I missed the last meeting. So that's why I was asking. And I can review the terms of reference again. But I do think that there is a role for us outside of the Trees for All program. I think it sounds like the greening working group would be something different. And my role at the NPCA is different than restoration and stewardship. I'm the manager of climate change and special programs. So I'm involved in all of our climate change initiatives. And I'm looking at some new programming that would be focused on urban type stewardship information, like what you're talking about. So I think there might be an interest there, but that was the allowed was what I was referring to.
Okay.
And that may be through the chair to Justin for clarification on that. My apologies for not knowing the answer in advance.
Justin,
yeah.
go ahead.
Sure, yes. So through the chair, yeah, you are a full member, counting toward quorum and voting member. So you can join this working group if you like.
Okay, yeah, I think add me, yes, please. And we've got some staffing changes happening right now, so it'll be me for now. And if anything changes, I will let the committee know.
Okay, thanks. Fair enough. So that's excellent. So can I get a mover and a sec? Oh, and just to confirm, Helen, you had previously volunteered to join
Yeah.
this. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So can I have a mover and a seconder to form this working group, please?
Sure.
Helen, thank you. And Councillor Longo. Sorry, you dropped off my screen. I see you now.
And just before you call the vote, I will confirm before you vote that it is Helen, Mark, Joe, and Natalie as the members.
Mark R. or Mark F?
Mark Freeman,
both.
committee
Both.
chair,
Mark-
Mark Freeman.
Okay, okay.
Mark Richardson
and,
doesn't count for this purpose, but he can
Okay,
come in
okay.
after.
Right.
Just committee members I'm talking about right now.
Right.
Okay. All right. Can I have a mover? I think, oh, sorry. Yeah, we did that. So you good with that, Justin? And so I ask all in favor? Any opposed? I'm not seeing any. Okay, thank you very much. So I think
just
so.
have one question.
Go ahead.
In the resolution, the council directed staff to review our greening Thorold initiative. So have they been given like terms, what they're reviewing it for? Are they going to come back to us with suggestions? Do they have a deadline for their review? Is it formal, or is it means that they should just read the thing and be familiar with it? So what was kind of, does anyone answer the scope of what staff were expected to do with their review of the document?
Justin, you can go ahead.
Yeah, so through the chair, to me, review means the basic, what you said there is to look through it and review it and come up with ideas. The things they have to do in this motion is that they consider these initiatives for the budget process. And then the added one that was added by council was to direct staff to prepare a report for 2025 budget respecting the city's planting program.
Was there any date associated with that?
No, it would be for the budget process, which typically is in February, is when council has their meetings. There is no specific date on it.
And I'm assuming that that process is already underway.
I would assume so.
Okay.
So we're not necessarily expecting to hear back on a review. It will be the working group, the staff members from the city would have read it and come with ideas to the working group.
That would be my understanding, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, Helen, I see it as getting, formal approval from city council to move forward with the initiative.
Yeah.
And getting staff formally engaged.
Okay.
Which is what we're doing. We won't be taking any specific action without it being approved by the appropriate people and budgeted accordingly. So, okay.
Yeah.
Good question. Yeah, so I think once we get that working group going, we will review the proposal that we had pulled together a few months ago, and then look at some of the things that we should prioritize on. I am hearing from people within Thorold that we need to be prioritizing on the existing approved tree list, which is on the website right now. It does include some invasive species, so we do want to review that and hopefully remove them. And so that might be the #1 priority, but that's something for the working group to agree on.
And so one last question, when can we expect to hear who from the city is on the working group?
Well, we know it will be Janelle will be our main focus point, along with Mark or someone that he appoints.
Okay, so I understood that Mark would be appointing somebody, but
yeah,
Mark and Janelle, right?
So I can set up something offline to get us started. I'm quite busy over the next couple of weeks, and then we start to get into December. But we'll see how it goes.
Okay. And I have one last question.
Yeah.
Does the city have any tree experts? Like,
Well, yeah, so my understanding was that there was somebody, and I can't remember his title or his or her title, so I don't want to say anything wrong, but I believe there is at least one person in the city that I don't know if he's an arborist or what exactly his title is, but we'll figure that out. Justin or Mark, did you want to comment on that?
Through the chair, my apologies. I'm still getting to know the staff, but I do believe Scott. I don't recall if he's an arborist or a horticulturalist, but will be following up with Scott Walton, as I believe he may be an arborist as well.
And through the chair, I was going to reiterate that he's supervisor of parks and cemeteries and takes care of our tree planting programs and things of that nature.
Okay. Great.
Thanks.
Helen, anything else?
No.
Okay.
All my questions have been answered.
Okay. Let's see what else have we got here. Okay, item 7.3. So looking at 2025, the meeting schedule that has been proposed for this committee will be Fridays at 10 a.m. on the following dates: January 17th, March 7th, May 2nd, July 11th, September 5th, and November 7th. So it's basically the first Monday of the month, I believe, unless there's a holiday or something falling on that day, in which case it's been moved to the second. As you see, it's the every second month. But if we get really busy and need to meet more often, I believe we're allowed to request meeting on those off months as well. Any questions on the schedule? Okay. So then I need to get again, a mover and a seconder to adopt this 2025 schedule. I'm seeing Joe and Linda. Thank you. All those, sorry, Raj, Ratna, didn't see you in time. All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, seeing none, that is carried as well. Okay, so we're going through here fairly quickly today. We'll go next into a roundtable discussion to see if there's anything else that we should be talking about in this committee. I'm going to go through on the order that I'm seeing people on my screen here. So, Councillor Longo?
Nothing today, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Helen?
No, I'm good, thanks.
Okay. Alrighty. I'm gonna have to call you Mr. Richardson, otherwise I get confused. I'm calling myself.
Nothing further. Just thank you very much for the invite, and I look forward to working with each and every one of you. Thank you.
Thank you. Sounds good. Natalie, any questions or comments?
Just wanted to say thank you for inviting me and for allowing me to participate in this group, and excited to work together on some similar mutually interesting projects, and look forward to knowing more and sharing more perhaps at a next meeting as well on some of the work that we're doing related to climate change programs that might be of interest to this group.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Natalie. And prior to you joining, we had some discussions on some other climate other climate change related activities. However, we decided to focus first on what everyone can agree on, or I hope, which is, more mitigation type activities through natural resources such as trees and plants. So we'll go down this path.
Yeah, and that's exactly what we're looking to do. My department is focused on enabling communities to take action through green infrastructure, through plantings, increasing biodiversity, reducing waste and water usage as well. And we just finished a natural asset inventory and assessment for the entire watershed. So I think municipalities in general might be interested in that work. We've shared it a little bit. I can bring something forward to the next meeting if that's of interest, but certainly I think there's a lot of synergy with my department in this group.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Great to have you on board. Joe, yourself, any comments or questions?
Excuse me. Not at this time. Hopefully by next meeting, I'll have an update on the relationships. But it's been pretty quiet over the summer and early fall.
Yeah, and again, I know that there's work being done in terms of mapping out the area was kind of the first step, right? So, and there may have been some staff turnover that caused some issues there. So we definitely want to get back on board with that.
Yeah, we lost our staff liaison just recently, and at some point we're hoping to get a new one, because right now unless I bring it through this or this committee or parks, we've got no official way to talk to City Hall at the moment.
Okay, so we'll definitely have it on the agenda here.
Thanks.
No problem. Linda, yourself.
Not at this time.
Okay, thanks. All right, Janelle.
No further questions or comments. Just want to say thank you very much for accepting me as the new staff liaison. I'm looking forward to working with you all and to seeing, how these initiatives turns out. Sounds like it's going to be great.
Sounds good. Thank you very much for joining us. Ratna, yourself?
Thank you, Mark. No any question or comments at this time. However, I'd like to thank you everyone for your warm welcome. I'm still learning. However, I'll do my best to add value to the team and looking forward to work together. Thank you.
That's great. I really appreciate you volunteering to join us. It's an important role that you can play here. So you will be heard.
Thank you, Mark.
You're welcome. I think that's everyone. I see a Lisa on here. I'm not sure if you're just watching.
Hi, yeah, I'm just watching today. I'm the planning student for this term, so I just get the invites for these meetings.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. Thank you. And I don't think I missed anyone. Okay, sounds good. So with that, then I'll adjourn the meeting. There being no further business, so we'll adjourn at 10:33 a.m. on November the 1st, 2024.